Nav is a certified loser, the ultra-mega virgin version of Taku, and a walking disappointment to his entire bloodline. The guy can't even whisper a syllable to a girl without combusting from awkwardness. Kinda like you. But out of nowhere, his life gets flipped upside down when a 4-foot-something gremlin girl bamboozles him into catching feelings. It all kicks off when he hits up the library for his daily dose of sad, lonely, virgin core activities, only to find himself ambushed by a gang of girls he absolutely despises.
Why?
Because they're loud, dramatic, and scream, "Look at me, energy." Classic pick-me squad behavior. Naturally, they start roasting him alive, especially after this socially bankrupt man drops his precious anime drawings like a total clown. One of the girls picks up his sketches, and in front of everyone, yells that he's out here drawing H.
Yeah.
That kind of H. Among these gremlins is the queen of mockery herself, Nagatoro. She introduces herself mid-roast, flipping through his manga like it's free comedy. And boom, she clocked it immediately. The main character in his story? Total wish fulfillment fantasy. Basically, a way cooler, more muscular version of him that could actually speak to women. To roast him even harder, she challenges him to act out scenes from his manga with her. But when it's go time, my boy collapses like a Jenga tower in an earthquake. Peak humiliation. And that's when Nagatoro walks in and cooks him so hard, the poor dude's soul temporarily leaves his body. Nav is a certified loser, the ultra-mega virgin version of Taku, and a walking disappointment to his entire bloodline. The guy can't even whisper a syllable to a girl without combusting from awkwardness. Kinda like you. But out of nowhere, his life gets flipped upside down when a 4-foot-something gremlin girl bamboozles him into catching feelings. It all kicks off when he hits up the library for his daily dose of sad, lonely, virgin core activities, only to find himself ambushed by a gang of girls he absolutely despises.
Why?
Because they're loud, dramatic, and scream, "Look at me, energy." Classic pick-me squad behavior. Naturally, they start roasting him alive, especially after this socially bankrupt man drops his precious anime drawings like a total clown. One of the girls picks up his sketches, and in front of everyone, yells that he's out here drawing H.
Yeah.
That kind of H. Among these gremlins is the queen of mockery herself, Nagatoro. She introduces herself mid-roast, flipping through his manga like it's free comedy. And boom, she clocked it immediately. The main character in his story? Total wish fulfillment fantasy. Basically, a way cooler, more muscular version of him that could actually speak to women. To roast him even harder, she challenges him to act out scenes from his manga with her. But when it's go time, my boy collapses like a Jenga tower in an earthquake. Peak humiliation. And that's when Nagatoro walks in and cooks him so hard, the poor dude's soul temporarily leaves his body. Thoroughly roasts his soul, leaving him on the verge of tears and fully accepting the L of the day. But guess what? That evening, the gremlin demon girl comes back swinging, bullying him once again, because why break the cycle of suffering when it's this entertaining? The very next day, she somehow GPS tracks his hiding spot like she's got a built-in loser radar. Before she barges in, Naoto, trying to act like a functioning human, nervously returns her handkerchief, awkwardly admitting he washed it. And plot twist, she actually blushes. Yep, this demon has a soft spot. Following him inside like it's her personal sitcom, she starts teasing him about being alone together, tossing out spicy hints like, "Oh, what could happen now?" Then she spots his art stuff and casually offers to model for him. But not just any modeling, she starts unbuttoning her shirt like it's some kind of anime cliché speedrun. My guy immediately explodes in panic, screaming for her to act like a normal human being. Eventually, he gathers enough brain cells to start drawing. But let's be real, he's doing way more eye-gazing than actual sketching. She catches on, obviously, and instead of stopping him, she drops the ultimate bait. If he manages to finish a real drawing instead of being a love-struck goldfish, she'll give him a reward. And boom, motivation unlocked. Suddenly, he's channeling his inner Michelangelo, laser-focused, sketching like rents due tomorrow. After grinding all day, he actually pulls off a surprisingly solid piece. Even she's impressed. True to her promise, she tells him it's reward time. But first, she tells him to close his eyes. He braces himself, thinking, this is it. First kiss arc unlocked. She leans in super close, and BM flicks him right on the nose. Man got baited harder than a fish in a Pokemon game. She bursts out laughing at his hopeless romantic face and roasts him again, calling him delusional for thinking a kiss was even remotely on the menu. Then, just to rub salt in the wound, she clowns on him for strategically avoiding her thighs in the drawing. Man couldn't even handle the thigh gap, and she's not letting it slide. Dude gets roasted so hard, he ends up crying. Again. Later, she jokingly asks him out, and guess what? The poor fool falls for it again like it's the sequel to his previous humiliation. When he calls her out for playing with his feelings like it's her favorite hobby, she straight up yeets him into a canal. Yup. Full-on push. Splash. Bonus water damage. Soaked like a sad sponge and dripping regret, he tries to play it cool, saying, no big deal. Girl's amused now and asks if he ever gets mad at anything. She even admits she's probably worse than his actual bullies, which is saying a lot. But Naoto Man's built different. He doesn't rage. He just tanks the abuse like it's his job and waits for the chaos to pass. Even more shocking, he straight up confesses that, yeah, he kinda likes it. Dude's got a bully kink and he's not even shy about it. The only thing he doesn't know, her actual name. So, he finally asks. And she hits him with, "Just call me Namoro," while casually writing it on his chest like she's claiming territory. The next day, Nyota finally gets a moment of peace, alone in the art room, ready to dive into a manga he bought off Temu for like $2 and a prayer. But just as he's about to enter full degenerate reading mode, boom, Magoro shows up, ready to ruin his vibe. Caught in 4K, he panics and hides the manga behind his back like a guilty raccoon. But Magoro, she's got sixth sense for shady behavior and immediately raises an eyebrow like, "What are you hiding, trash goblin?" She sniffs out the SUS energy fast and offers to help, which obviously means snatching the manga straight out of his hands the moment he lets his guard down. Classic bait and swipe technique. She gives him a friendly pat on the back, which is just a distraction to roast him harder, mocking his attempt to sneak in some premium spicy content on school property. But she makes it clear, there's no way he's getting away with taking the easy route when she's around. As she opens the manga, she's immediately greeted by some massive anime honkers, like Gravity's worst nightmare levels. Miyoto, flustered and sweating, tries to defend it, claiming it's totally essential to the plot. She points to a panel with an ultra-chad vampire dude and starts clowning him, asking if he really thinks he could ever pull that off. Spoiler, he can't. Not even in The Sims. Trying to salvage his dignity, he insists he was only in it for the story, which, according to him, is a deep tale about vampires and true love. Surprisingly, she starts getting sucked into the plot too, despite the occasional jump scare that comes out of nowhere. One of the vampire characters reminds her of Now, some poor dude who gets absolutely slurped by a vampire like he's a Capri Sun. But she turns to our boy Now and reassures him, saying he'd be totally fine. Because apparently, vampires don't feed on virgin losers like him. Ouch. Critical hit. That line pushes Now right to the edge, so he finally snaps and demands, "How do you even know I'm a virgin?" She just smirks, raises an eyebrow like a villain, and hits him with the ultimate counter, a challenge. Leaning in with that chaotic energy, she asks if she can bite his neck, just like the vampire chick in the manga. "Don't worry," she whispers. "It'll just feel like a little sting." Right. Except her teeth look like she borrowed them from a pit bull on steroids. Slowly, she closes the distance, and then pounces on him like Foxy from Five Nights at Freddy's, yelling that he's her prey now. Honestly, can't even blame her. For her, it's a win-win situation. Free entertainment and emotional damage for him. When he nervously asks, what if someone sees us?" She just shrugs like it's Tuesday and starts tracing her fingers along his neck, teasing the poor guy even harder. She leans in for the bite, and gets smacked in the face by the ungodly stench of his breath. Smells like a dead skunk who lost a bet. But hey, she's committed now. She lunges anyway, savoring the chaos like it's her favorite meal. Later that day, she casually follows him home, because boundaries don't exist here, and with the smuggest grin ever, asks, "So, was that your first time getting handy?" Smirking face. Noo's face goes nuclear red. Man's blushing like someone just caught him watching anime with headphones on full blast. His face turns redder than a tomato in a sauna, because yeah, it's actually the first time a woman has ever laid a finger on him. Sensing blood in the water, she keeps the teasing going, asking if he wants her to do it properly this time. Only to hit him with the OL bait and switch and go for his stomach instead of, where he was praying for. She laughs like the little gremlin she is, leaving him flustered, frustrated, and questioning every life choice that led him to this moment. That night, while reading hentai for educational purposes, he can't help but imagine Nagatoro giving him some intense, plot-heavy character development. Let's just say the boy does not sleep well. The next day, she pulls up again, because tormenting this dude is apparently her favorite sport, and pitches a brand new game. The Honker Guessing Challenge. Rules. Easy. He just has to guess where the seeds are. The prize. As she puts it, self-explanatory smirking face. He hesitates, all flustered, mumbling that he's not really into random groping and doesn't see the point of it. So what does she do? She dangles the ultimate bait, a golden ticket that lets him make her do anything. He could use it to finally end her teasing once and for all. Or go full anime protagonist and have her wear a swimsuit, or strip down to literally nothing. The temptation hits him like a truck. The stakes are high. Hormones are higher. He thinks hard. Like, galaxy brain level decision making. And finally, he convinces himself to act. Not for the horny, of course, but to stop her endless psychological warfare. And with that, the game begins. Nagatoro starts the game with 2 bull-sized missiles, casually hitting the targets with ridiculous precision, though technically, they're misses. But before our boy can even point that out and reclaim an ounce of dignity, she starts spinning them around like fidget spinners for no reason at all. Desperate and already emotionally damaged, he pleads for mercy and taps out. But of course, she's not letting him go that easy. "It's your turn now," she grins, like a boss battle just started. Determined to make a comeback and regain at least one fragment of masculinity, he hypes himself up, focuses hard, and gets ready to strike back with legendary accuracy. But just as he closes in, ready to activate the switches, she shoves him away, yells, "Time's up!" and dips out like a true villain, leaving him behind to go chill with her friends. Bro took a massive L and didn't even get a participation trophy. Still licking his wounds, he heads to a restaurant to drown his sorrows and work on his manga in peace, only to spot Nagatoro and her squad walking in, with some dudes. Looks like a double date, and naturally, our main man goes full ninja mode and starts eavesdropping from the shadows. The guys try their best to impress, talking about their totally real band and definitely not made in the garage music, but Nagatoro looks bored out of her mind. One of them even offers to let her listen to his terrible mixtape, but she shuts him down immediately. "Yeah no, quit while you're ahead." The second guy tries his luck, but gets roasted so hard he runs to the bathroom for the second time, probably to cry in the stall and reevaluate his life. On the way home, Naoto starts wondering if maybe he's not the only one being bullied. Turns out, those dudes got obliterated too. But before he can process that thought, poof, Nagatoro pops up behind him like a Pokemon encounter and starts walking with him. Because of course, she's not done teasing him yet. The next day, she barges back into the art room like it's her second home and casually suggests posing as a model for him. He politely declines, saying he's more into drawing objects than people. Translation: I'm scared I'll accidentally simp too hard. But she's not one to take no for an answer. So what does she do? Boom. Out of nowhere, she strips down and reveals a school swimsuit, like this is some kind of slice-of-life fever dream. Bro didn't even get a warning. Later that day, classes end and the sky turns into a disaster movie. A massive downpour starts and both of them sprint to the nearest shed like it's a boss fight arena, soaking wet and freezing. While they're trying to dry off, the rain gets even worse, and Nagatoro, ever the chaos instigator, casually invites him to her house to change into dry clothes. Oh no! As they step inside, he immediately spots a pair of adult shoes by the door. His brain goes full panic mode, imagining himself being grilled by her parents and maybe even their judgmental family cat. But she reassures him with a smile. Relax, no one's home. Then she tosses him some of her brother's clothes like it's no big deal. She also hands him a towel, but instead of using it, our boy enters a deep anime trance, fixating on one very specific thought. Wait, is this the towel SHE used earlier? Suddenly, his brain is playing a full HD, slow-motion montage of her drying off every square inch of herself. Of course, she notices his thousand-yard stare and that goofy blush on his face. She smirks, says nothing, just heads to the kitchen to make some tea like this is the most normal Tuesday ever. Once he's finally dry and mentally rebooted, she joins him on the couch, grinning like a gremlin, and immediately calls out how extra sus he's been acting since stepping into her house. It's his first time in a girl's room and he's sweating like it's a final boss battle. She leans in with that classic Nagatoro smirk and asks, "So, what do you think two people normally do in a situation like this?" Smirking face. Panicking, the poor guy blurts out, studying?" She doesn't even let him finish the word before roasting him. "Bruh, there aren't even any exams coming up." Then, with the confidence of someone about to change a man's life, she places her hand on his and drops the line. "We're about to smash. Like, really smash." His soul leaves his body. But before his brain combusts entirely, she hits him with a plot twist. "I meant Super Smash Brothers duh. It's my brother's favorite game." She boasts about being a certified Smash Queen, but to her horror, she gets absolutely clapped. Every single round. Turns out our quiet boy is a combo-hitting, item-dodging, Final Destination tryhard, and he's not going easy. She starts getting genuinely annoyed, and his smug face isn't helping. At first, he feels kinda bad. But after surviving weeks of being roasted, humiliated, and sneak-attacked with flirtation, he knows. It's payback time. During the next match, he goes full anime protagonist mode and dominates again. Victory is within reach. But then, she leans in, whispers something in his ear, something so random and chaotic, that his brain short-circuits. He loses focus. And the match. Game. Set. Chaos. And just like that, they keep playing, the war continues. They keep gaming together until the rain finally chills out. When it's time to split up, he thanks her for the good vibes, only for her to casually drop a bomb. Yeah, don't expect a sequel to this hangout. Emotional damage. The next day, our boy now faces a whole new boss battle. The school cafeteria is packed, and the only open seats are right next to her and her squad of giggling goblins, the same crew that roasted his drawings like marshmallows not long ago. She waves him over with a grin, like it's totally normal. Meanwhile, he's having a full-blown anime internal monologue. "This is how I die." With no other option, he braces himself and sits down. Instant regret. She instantly starts acting like they're a couple in a shoujo manga, and her friends jump in with zero chill. "Oh, has he already expanded your domain?" Smirking face. Now short circuits, mumbling nonsense while trying not to implode. He knows damn well his heavenly restriction, also known as being a 100% certified virgin, makes it clear he's not her boyfriend. Nagatoro's super possessive energy doesn't help. The girls start joking that he's been reverse colonized and now belongs to her. One even pulls out a fake immigration stamp. It gets worse when Maki, the queen of cruel, calls him subhuman and compares him to an actual bug. But just as the roast session hits critical levels, Nagatoro steps in. Out of nowhere, she tells Maki she's gone way too far. Everyone freezes. Even Nao's soul pauses. And in that brief moment of unexpected support, our boy finds the courage to stand up for himself. He finally summons the guts to stand up for himself, shouting to the whole cafeteria, "I'm not her boyfriend." But mid-shout, he totally chickens out and trails off like a lost puppy, trying to act like he's just there to eat his sad lunch. His big declaration only scores him more laughter from the crowd, leaving him roasted and humiliated again. Later, Nagatoro hits him with the classic, "Why don't you ever fight back?" She pushes him to man up and even dares him to slap someone the next time they insult him, just to prove a point. They try to roleplay the scenario, but instead of throwing a punch, he totally loses it and bursts into tears like a big OL baby. Of course, that just gives her more ammo to roast him harder. After putting up with enough nonsense, he finally slaps her. But of course, being Nao, he slaps the wrong cheek and instantly regrets it. Classic fail. A few days later, just as he's chilling and peacefully munching on his lunch, out of nowhere, Maki and Yoshi crash his vibe like a couple of wrecking balls. At first, he thinks it's Nagatoro, but nope, quickly realizes these are the last two people on Earth he wants to see. They found his secret hideout, yeah, his little sad fortress, and waste zero time jumping back into their daily bullying routine. While he's trying to eat, they smirk like villains and start roasting him non-stop. Then, out of nowhere, they switch gears and start talking about melons. Yep, melons. They tease him hard about what makes melons so special, low-key hinting that he's probably never even touched one before. Apparently, the rumor mill's been working overtime, and everyone's whispering about him being a full-blown virgin. So Maki, with zero chill, boldly asks if he wants to touch her hysterical pillows, her voice dripping with sarcasm and pure mockery. He freezes, all hypnotized like Alex Mason in a trance, but then chaos hits and he bolts for the door. Yoshi, being no gentleman, grabs him and shoves his hand towards what he thinks are Maki's melons. Only for him to discover the ultimate letdown. It's just a freaking red bean bun. Maki and Yoshi explode with laughter, roasting him even harder as he's left dying of humiliation. Before things can get even worse, things get wild as Nagatoro storms in, looking madder than a cat denied its snack, ready to throw down. The D, our dude, bails faster than you can say, "Help me," leaving her to face him solo. She throws shade, sarcastically congratulating him on losing his hand virginity. But when he tries to explain it was just a piece of bread, her mischievous side flicks on like a light switch. Suddenly, she drops a genius idea on him, a challenge to squeeze her black bean buns. The deal? If he can guess which bun hidden under her shirt is softer, she'll hook him up with a premium bean bun reward. Even though he's sweating bullets and second-guessing life, she keeps trash-talking him, calling him a scaredy cat. That's enough to kickstart his shaky courage. With trembling hands, he reaches out, touches the right one, shuts his eyes tight, and gives it a quick little massage, heart pounding like a bass drum. Suddenly, the prize button pops off her shirt. Classic. Then, he goes for the left side, and this is it, his moment of glory. He's finally touching the real deal, no holding back, full-on exploring with both hands to prove it's the premium bun. Eyes open, he confidently calls out the premium bun. But then, reality hits like a truck. He basically just landed himself in deep trouble. He's basically in deep trouble now for straight-up groping her. Nagatoro isn't about to go easy either. She retaliates with a crazy combo of hits, using that premium bread like it's some kind of savage weapon. Fast forward 2 days, life goes back to normalish, and she decides to be his model again. She rolls in an old, slightly toasty sofa into the art room, making it her personal chill throne. Right when she walks in, she notices he's kinda down, eyes glued to the baseball captain flexing with his squad and classmates, soaking in all that glory. He admits he's not really good at much besides drawing, and actually getting props for it is like a rare, uplifting miracle. She drops some wisdom. If he wants praise, he's gotta start by giving some first, like appreciating others. She dares him to shower her with compliments. Anything sincere will do. As he thinks about it, he realizes almost anything he says might come out sounding super weird, so he plays it safe and compliments her hair instead. She laughs at his adorably awkward move but demands more compliments like a boss. He tells her she says he's impressively nimble, like, what he pulled off the first time they met was honestly next level impressive. She throws the compliment back at him, but not before doing a thorough quality check to see if he's actually worth praising. Spoiler, she's skeptical. Then they kick off their modeling session, and she tries out a bunch of poses, most of which are way too spicy and bold for his rookie eyes to handle without turning into a blushing tomato. In the end, they settle on a more safe-for-work pose so he can actually focus on drawing without having a meltdown. She casually drops that she's gonna take a nap while he works his magic on the sketch. Once she's out like a light, he finally nails the perfect angle, and bam! The sketch turns out to be a total masterpiece. When she wakes up and peeks at his drawing, instead of throwing him a big prize, she hits him with a quirky little gift, a toy shaped like lips. Because nothing says, "good job," like lip-shaped toys. If you're vibing with this wild ride of a series, smash that like button like it owes you money, hit subscribe like it's the last cookie, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss the chaos. Your support keeps me fueled to drop more top-tier, spicy recaps that'll keep you hooked.